if Belichick held him back. If this like strict Patriot way thing that he was doing.
The system that he was in.
The system, maybe it held him back. Maybe that the way that he was spending money that we thought was so brilliant. He's underpaying Brady and really investing in the defense and cornerbacks and all this kind of shit. Maybe, obviously the offensive line, he needs offensive line, but even you told me that the Bucs offensive line isn't amazing.
Nope. They put more emphasis on it when they got Brady, but it's not a fucking fantastic
But you know what happens? When you're an offensive lineman and your blocking matters, when you know your quarterback will hit the spot if he has the opportunity.
I'm motivated.
Mm-hmm.
I trust the guy behind me.
It's easy to block for Brady. It's easy to block for Mahomes. It's not easy to block for fucking Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I don't. Where's this guy going to do?
You know what I'm saying?
He's seeing ghosts. I'm good.
He's seeing ghosts, exactly. Who is he saying that about?
When Belichick. It was Belichick coach, like they were playing the Patriots.
It was playing the Patriots, right?
I'm seeing ghosts.
So it's like, I'm just saying, like, when you're an offensive lineman and you know every time you bang your head, you're going to forget your daughter's name 10 years from now. Like, every time you bang your head, you're like, oh, I really love my daughter. I'm going to forget her name.
I just lost a fact.
I just lost a fact. I lost a piano recital. You know, I lost a volleyball game. I lost something every time. And for this guy to fucking throw interceptions, fuck him. Fuck him. Okay? I'm telling you, when you're doing that for a Super Bowl, it's going to change your daughter's life. When you're going to get that big contract extension because of how good Tom Brady makes you look. Don't get me wrong. You make him look good too. But that extra effort means $2, $3, $4, $5 million more dollars you might make on that next contract. Isn't that motivation?
100%.
I'm starting to wonder if the Patriot way, and we're going to see over the next 5 years, maybe over the next decade, if the Patriot way actually hurt Tom Brady.
This is the most motivated Belichick we'll ever see. But to your point, we used to always say Tom Brady's lucky to have Bill Belichick. We didn't often say Bill Belichick is lucky to have Tom Brady. He might be a guy. Some coaches just don't really value the quarterback position, and he might have enough ego to say, I don't need a great quarterback. I don't need to spend all this money on a great quarterback. I will coach up everything else, and we'll be great. He might have lucked into the greatest quarterback ever in the 6th round, so he never had to worry about quarterback. And a guy who would take less money to help the team win. Tom Brady's a fucking unicorn, man. All right, pay me less. I'll make my money elsewhere. I'll get a $1 million PPP loan. Who cares? Let's just win. I don't give a fuck. Belichick might have been super lucky getting Brady, because since then, Cam Newton, they just got like at the end of the offseason. He was like, whatever, we'll plug in anybody. Jimmy Garoppolo, he believed in a ton. Maybe he could have made Jimmy Garoppolo great, or maybe he was just like, nah, it's my guy, and I don't really care about a great quarterback. But it's hard to win without a great quarterback.
Do you have any question that Tom Brady would have been a great quarterback no matter where he went?
No question. He would have been great anywhere.
Anywhere.
He was great in Michigan. He won at Michigan. But they were so excited about this hype recruit they got, Drew Henson, I think, because Peter, both his parents went to Michigan. He went to Michigan Fanatic, so he knows all the history. Brady was great, but they were like, no, we got this hot recruit. We got to start him. And that's how Brady basically didn't get love walking out of Michigan. But he was good in Michigan. He won all the time. And then he locked into something else, and maybe Belichick had something to do with that. But now he's like the most focused guy, eating avocado ice cream, whatever the fuck else to like age as well as he can. And got this whole system.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. I don't know if you could say that Belichick held Brady back because of the wins. So, like, you can take Aaron Rodgers, for example, who's fucking MVP this season and doesn't have the wins because he didn't have the correct system in place.
I think he would win less Super Bowls without Belichick, but he would still be great, and he might still be the GOAT.
If Aaron Rodgers had a Belichick, we'd be saying this exact same thing.
Oh, yeah. Great point.
That's the thing. When you win less, it's actually better for your legacy in a way, because especially as a quarterback, because it seems like you did it all on your own. When you are dominant as a franchise in a team-based sport like football, where it appears as if one player doesn't really have that much of a difference-making factor for a team, you naturally lean into the coaching. Like, Patrick Mahomes is doing things that are so out of this world that you're like, you got to credit him.
Yeah.
But also, there are people that go,
Andy
Reid, offensive genius. Yep. He's finding ways to unearth things that you never knew. Nobody looked at Patrick Mahomes in college like this.
Yep.
Right? He was highly touted, but not like
raw.
this.
Everybody's like, yeah, he's super raw. Some people believe, most people were like, that system. Texas Tech system, you just throw all over the place. Who cares?
It's hard for us to believe because, generally speaking, there is not one person on a football field that's that dominant.
No.
Maybe Tom fucking Brady is. Maybe he's so dominant that he could have taken Aaron Rodgers' Packers to the Super Bowl and won. He could have taken the Giants to the Super Bowl and won. He could take the Chiefs to the Super Bowl. It didn't matter which fucking team. Maybe he's that good. Maybe he's so good that he makes his coach, who is mediocre, look like a genius.
I don't remember the last time the Bucs made the playoffs. And Bruce Arians is a coach that makes their team better, but only to a point.
I just wanted to make one point. If we had no problem saying that Tom Brady was a system quarterback, we should have no problem now saying that Bill Belichick is a Tom Brady quarterback.
He's a Tom Brady coach.
Bill Belichick is a Tom Brady coach. You have never proven to be victorious without Tom Brady. Yes, you did great when what's-his-face stepped in.
Matt Castle.
Matt Castle stepped in. Great for having Matt Castle. Sure.
Still didn't make the playoffs.
Didn't make the playoffs.
I could agree with that, but by saying held him back, that's...
He's saying statistically, Brady would have gone. He would whatever Aaron Rodgers is now.
You say he would have won
been
more.
Maybe one. No.
Maybe I'm saying. Who knows?
That's what I'm saying. I don't
say.
I think they made a perfect pairing.
Yeah, and that's true. They could have been the perfect pairing. But when I see what he's done with the Buccaneers, who were last year decent.
No, yeah, they were fine. They didn't even they weren't even close to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. But
I was shocked.
They were underperforming, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, but like they were. I don't want to go. He took this team, took the fucking Jaguars or some shit like that. Like
it's not far off. That's the thing. It's not far off.
I thought Jameis just was so bad.
He 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. It was crazy, but he wasn't. He was just like very hot and cold. He wasn't good.
Fair enough. All I'm saying is like if we had no problem removing credit from Tom Brady.
Yeah.
We should have no problem removing credit from Bill Belichick, seeing what they both did without each other. It's not like they don't have the same salary cap. It'd be one thing if all of a sudden the Patriots had this salary cap that was reduced by 50%. Now they don't have Tom Brady. They both had the same amount of money to spend this year, did they not? Mm-hmm. I mean, if Bill Belichick can get Tom fucking Brady to take less money on contracts, you can't get some lineman that you overpaid to do it? Like all of a sudden...
Tom Brady leaving frees up a lot of money.
I mean, not so much because he wasn't like getting crazy, right? Like he was doing.
You're still highly paid quarterback. You're getting a lot of money. Right. So $20 million a year is still $20 million a year.
I'm saying, what is his bitch ass excuse that he comes? He was, we sold out. Remember when he said that? We sold out this year. Like he said, we didn't have enough money essentially to pay. It's like, what do you mean now you don't have enough money? Now all of a sudden money's an issue. Get people to take less money. You got it with Tom. Why can't you get the other guys to do it? You're supposed to be this brilliant coach and get people to buy in.
Because he had the unicorn in Tom Brady.
He had the fucking unicorn. I don't think Bill Belichick is the unique one. And I'm going to go so far to say he's not winning another ring for the rest of his career.
It would be great to see. It would.
I don't even know if he'll make the playoffs in the next 5 years.
That would blow my mind. That I don't see. I don't know if he's going to get a ring without Brady anymore.
But now, the thing is, with someone like Bill Belichick, I actually have like empathy for it because how does he know if he's a genius or not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because he's calling plays, and then the plays work. And he goes, yeah, Tom did a great job with that. But also, I called the play. And
he's a defensive, like, he breaks quarterbacks. He broke Sam Darnold. He broke Jared Goff a little bit, I think. Mm-hmm. Jared Goff, nobody, like, the Rams were so good. Sean McVay was so good. And in that Super Bowl, he told his defense, here's what happens with this team. The quarterback has a headset for the Rams. Mm-hmm. They go to the line with one call. They look at the formation. And then before communication with the coach gets cut off, the coach reads the defense and says, this is the play you're going with. Mm-hmm. Bill Belichick was like, all right, we have two defenses. We have one defense that we show them, and then as soon as the call comes in, we switch to another defense.
Right.
Which is fucking amazing.
Right.
So he defensively can break you. Like, but you can't win without good quarterback.
But does he?
You just can't.
To his credit, though, he might not know if he's a genius or not. You know
no,
what I mean?
I understand what he's saying. It's like when things are successful, you're going to assume that you play some part in that success.
You take over a company and you're the CEO and the company's doing amazing. Mm-hmm. Like, you're like, am I a genius or did I just happen to be have the best product or whatever in my company? You know what I mean?
It's hard to not take credit for success, especially when you are, when the buck stops with you.
When your name's on the plaque, like, you're
exactly.
like, after 20 years of doing this, you must be like,
you're telling Tom what play.
Yeah.
Now, granted, every coach who calls a play, if the play is successful, will take credit for that play being successful, but you still need players to execute said play. Mm-hmm. Right. But I completely understand him having an ego. There's no question whatsoever. Mm-hmm. I wonder how big that ego has dropped or how much that ego has dropped this year.
Yep.
It'll take a couple years for it to set in. But what's interesting is he got success pretty quickly, and the best thing that happened to the Chiefs might be Andy Reid not having success with the Eagles. Now he goes to the Chiefs, and he has this amazing quarterback. Andy Reid will never think, this is me. I did this. He thinks I played a big part in this, but I know who the fucking unicorn is here. And it's this guy right here. And so there's not going to be an ego battle.
Right.
Mahomes seems like a great guy, but like there's just Reid is never going to be like, you're nothing without me.
So sorry, but how about this? Andy Reid, way better coach than Bill Belichick. And I'll say this just for this reason. Andy Reid has taken quarterbacks that were not that good and made them incredibly successful within his offense, right? We've seen that with Donovan McNabb.
Nick
right?
Foles. Alex Smith,
and Michael Vick.
Oh, that's right.
Michael Vick was not a very successful pass-first quarterback. And then Andy Reid turned him into a quite successful pass-first quarterback. There's no question that Mike always had an arm and all that kind of stuff. But he actually, I think, I don't think
made
it's
him a better quarterback,
overextended to
made
say.
Made him a better passer.
Everyone better, right? Bill Belichick gets Cam Newton, who isn't the same Cam Newton that he was.
Right.
But is coming off a lot of downtime to let his body recover. And it's not like he's forgotten how to throw a football. It's not like, I mean, can you get that much worse at throwing a football?
No.
As long as you're not injured.
Yeah.
He made him worse. Cam Newton became a worse football player under Bill Belichick. Fact or fiction?
Well, he at least couldn't fix him. If he was broken, he's still broken. You didn't make him better.
Michael Vick was broken and then goes to Andy Reid. And all of a sudden, this is a deep threat. Well, he's always a deep threat. But this is a guy who could carry your fucking team.
He went to the playoffs out of prison.
That's the guy. Like
out of prison.
You always say, if you take time off from football.
Yes. You can't come back. It's over. It's too fast of a game. Now, Vic is a freak.
Freak athlete, yes.
Andy Reid definitely helps.
I know another freak athlete.
Cameron
Newton.
Yo, you're right.
I'm just saying, you make this quarterback, who is maybe a shell of himself, that's fair, but worse, undeniably worse under you. You don't make quarterbacks better as far as we've seen. Again, Matt Castle is the exception. But didn't Matt play somewhere else with the Colts or something and do decently?
I think he went to the Chiefs afterward, and I think he sucked.
Okay, fair enough.
I think he was always bad after that.
There was another, maybe it was Prescott played with the Colts. Remember they had another Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett.
He did okay when he went.
He was fine with the Colts.
With the Colts, right? Yeah, okay. All I'm just saying is, like, if we're willing to light up Tom Brady for years and say he's a system quarterback, he's not that good, and say all this shit, Belichick needs some smoke too. If we're gonna have these hypotheticals,
you're not wrong.
I mean, why are people defending him? If we're gonna have hypotheticals, let's have some real hypotheticals.
Yep.
Came with the motherfucking GOAT.
Bro,
this guy out here looking pathetic. He's making quarterbacks stink.
Yo,
he's a quarterback killer as far as I'm concerned. Given this past season, you don't want, if you're a quarterback, you do not want to pay for Bill Belichick. This guy will kill you.
Bro, he gonna get you murdered.
He's gonna get you murdered. Bro, if you're at a quarterback and you're at a point in your career where it's teetering, nobody's picking up Cam Newton last year. He ended Cam Newton's career. Playing for Bill Belichick ended Cam Newton's football career.
He's a backup, maybe.
Maybe a backup.
Yeah.
There's not a question in my mind that if Cam Newton played for Andy Reid, he has a contract next year.
Yo, you absolutely right. And we all thought Cam Newton going to the Patriots was like,
no brainer.
Bro, they're back.
They figured a way.
They're back. They always do this.
But Belichick's not good enough.
He's not.
Belichick's not good enough. He's not a good enough coach to extract talent from a player. What I'm trying to say is, imagine Tom Brady had a real coach that could actually make him better.
Sean Payton, Andy Reid.
Imagine he had a real fucking coach that improved their quarterback. This is a no-brainer. What Tom Brady would, I think, more rings. I think Belichick held Tom Brady back.
I mean, can't we just look at Belichick's record? Like, I'm trying to find shit about
losing record without Tom Brady.
But like,
he is a defensive genius, but that's only half.
But like, because Tom Brady's been playing football for what, like 20 years?
Yeah, he came in and got Belichick a ring in his first year.
That's what I'm saying. We could see Tom Brady's record easily, but like Belichick has existed without Tom for 20 more years.
Tom Brady carried a mediocre coach to the promised land. He carried a mediocre coach to the promised land.
this.
And then without that mediocre coach, that overrated mediocre coach, and his curmudgeon-y attitude,
We're
he
doubling
was
down.
allowed to have a curmudgeon-y attitude.
We're doubling down. Here we go.
He was imagine being a mediocre coach that is hanging on for dear life, hanging on to Tom Brady for dear life, like his first baby mama, hanging on, right?
You Megan Moynihan ass coach.
Megan Moynihan ass coach. Okay, what was it? CSI?
I think
Law
so.
and Order.
Some shit.
One of them. Right? Hanging on for dear fucking life, being rude to the media, wearing a stupid cut-off fucking sweatshirt.
We
You
thought
little-
that shit was genius.
Oh, look, he doesn't even care about what he wears. Oh, you gonna care now?
Yo,
You're gonna be nice and buttoned up. You're gonna be answering some fucking
you
questions.
going into Cam Newton's closet now.
100%.
Yo.
100%. All I'm trying to say is, we gave a lot of credit where it was not due.
Yeah.
Tom Brady could maybe have 10 rings right now if it wasn't for Bill Belichick. Easily.
Maybe
Took
20.
the fucking Buccaneers. When was the last time? The last time the Buccaneers won a Super Bowl or even went to the Super Bowl, Warren Sapp was on that team.
They haven't
was
won
he
a
not?
playoff game since they won the Super Bowl in
Holy
2002.
shit.
You know how great Tom Brady is? He's been to more Super Bowls than every other team in the league, including the Patriots.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
This is gonna
Unfucking-believable.
be so funny if the Super Bowl, if he has a whole game like he played in the second half.
He might, but he got there.
You're gonna have to eat
got there.
all
He got
these
there,
words. So.
and what's his face didn't even get. No, he got. I think him getting there it already solidifies everything. He doesn't need to win. If he does win, we need a new word that's not GOAT.
Okay.
Yeah, no other quarterback has. Joe Montana went to the Chiefs actually after he got traded from the Niners and they wanted Steve Young. He went to the championship game. Great, lost.
Oh, yeah.
Brett Favre
No,
with the
nobody's-
Vikings, championship, lost. Super Bowl never been done, and he's older than all of them. 43.
43 years old. Imagine he was 37 and did this. Imagine Tom was young and did this. Forget it.
There's no second half like that.
I mean, the fact that Bill Belichick was underpaying him to ride on his fucking coattails
It's a travesty.
is a travesty. But
Fucking
that's what.
Stephen A.
but-
Schultz over here. So this guy is great.
Real talk. No, this is interesting. This is interesting.